ask you to take a moment now to evaluate the statements and decisions in just a single day of the sitting president of the United States. This is not a question intended to be based on party affiliation or personal preference, simply the facts. President Trump departs for the crucial G7 summit in Biarritz, France tonight, but not before reportedly grumbling about having to go at all, or reportedly discussing new tariffs on his hosts there, America's oldest ally, or escalating a trade war with China with global consequences, or calling his hand-picked Federal Reserve chairman the country's enemy, more so than the communist leader of China. Or we might add, when markets took a massive hit as a result, joking about it. And again, this is all of it at the end of a week in which he canceled a state visit with another ally because that country, Denmark, would not sell us Greenland. And he compared himself to the Messiah, by the way. All of it, other than the Messiah and Greenland stuff, happened just in one day, today. Most notably, this. The Dow Industrials lost some 624 points on the day. It came after these tweets from the president, quoting now, "We don't need China, and frankly would be far better off without them. Our great American companies are hereby ordered to immediately start looking for an alternative to China." Hereby ordered, he said, which of course no president can do. And as we mentioned, he also lashed out at Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, tweeting, quote, "My only question is, who is our bigger enemy, Jay Powell or Chairman Xi?" That, the leader of China, the communist leader of China. Then, late today, the president made good on his threat to impose new tariffs on Chinese imports, of course, tariffs which you and I will pay. So much for all those Christmas shoppers. The president said that he was helping when he put a number of tariffs on hold just a couple of weeks ago.
We're doing this for Christmas season, just in case some of the tariffs would have an impact on U.S. customers, which so far they've had virtually none.
Well, so much for that. So much for the signal that markets sent him earlier today. And just think about that for a minute. You do something ill-advised, get a sharply negative reaction to that ill-advised thing you just did, and then you do more of it just a few hours later. That's what played out today in this country, and it is unfolding in the context of a weakening economy, as even one of the president's top advisors conceded to me on CNN this morning. Are you seeing indications of that growth slowing?
We can get to 3. Well, we went from 3% to 2%, and our read of that is it's a pure Federal Reserve effect on higher interest rates and a higher currency. Jim,
but that's your read, but that's not what business leaders are saying.
Well,
business leaders, I talk to farmers, too. Farmers have lost markets in China.
All I can do is come here and have this conversation and have your viewers think about what's going on here.
So Peter Navarro, while certainly downplaying the White House's role in it, is clearly conceding the fact of a slowing economy. And there's plenty of reporting, CNN's included, saying the president is concerned as well. Any president would be. But until now, this sort of situation has never moved a president, any president, mind you, to all but accuse the Federal Reserve chairman of treason, or call one of the country's biggest trading partners, no matter how rocky the relationship, the enemy. And again, this president is different. Just ask him.
I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it. So I'm taking on China. I'm taking on China on trade. And you know what? We're winning because we're the piggy bank. We're the one that all these countries, including the European Union, wants to rob and takes advantage of. European Union, $200 billion. China, more than $500 billion.
That is the kind of talk that appears to be giving markets, perhaps the economy, a case of jitters, real ones. But remember, this is a president who once said, "I alone can fix it," and who now says even more.
If we don't win in 2020, everything that we've done, seriously though, everything that we've done, your 401s, they're going to crash. The whole thing, it's going to come down like a stack of cards. You have no choice but to vote for me because your 401ks, down the tubes, everything's going to be down the tubes.
Well, as the market went down the tubes today, the president joked today, suggesting in a tweet that they were reacting to Democratic candidate Seth Moulton leaving the presidential race, whoever that may be, he said in his tweet. Seth Moulton, by the way, volunteered to serve this country in war and risked his life doing so, a risk, of course, the president refused to bear during the Vietnam War. We're not sure how many millions of Americans watching their 401ks today